I've been 1996. About number 6, so top 10. Yes, stupidity should be painful. Stupidity should be painful, usually because I think people learn best sometimes when the outcomes will be painful. That'd be Miss Rady, our sociology and psychology teacher. Yeah, my senior year I was in tennis as well as, of course, swimming, but we also did the academic Super Bowl and a lot of the academic extra clubs. Me personally, no. We did have occasional our relay teams that didn't break the class records, but for the most part, I personally didn't break any records, but we did train a lot of swimmers that eventually did break records in the years to come, so feel proud to be part of it. For the most part, my personal life, I wouldn't say affected it. You use school as a way to get away from your personal life for the most part, and so that's why I put more of my effort into school. Actually, from pilot since I was about 16, took classes at Griffith Maryville Airport and during high school, and eventually at Purdue University. One of the cool things, hands down, is the uniform. Chicks dig it, I'm telling you what. So. Actually, back then we weren't necessarily graded on those individual characteristics. It was more subject content based learning, more of your classic way of being graded. Outside of the occasional group projects that we had during that, we didn't necessarily have projects on a day-to-day basis. Again, it was more subject content-based, classic ways of learning with the occasional group project thrown in, so it didn't really apply back then. Possibly new tech in the theoretical form. I know where it wants to go. I think if we had the ability to apply that back then, it would have been great. Unfortunately, I think when you introduce a new program like new tech, it sounds very good. Some of the students end up being guinea pigs. So the question is it worth sacrificing those 1 or 2 year classes for the ultimate, an ultimate result? So I'm kind of glad I didn't have to do it, but not saying it's a bad project. Not at all, not at all. Kind of in high school, I think while it does get a lot of points and laughs at it, for lack of a better way to say it, the teachers here have done really well, especially back then, and the students here, same thing. The students, I think you're always going to have your bad apples. For the most part, the students here as a whole do very well for themselves, and ultimately, no matter what school you go to or what education program you use, it's always going to come down to the student and the teachers and how they interact. And I think it went pretty well. Pretty much what I've said before. It sounds like a very, very inspirational program, but there is a bit of a learning curve in getting introduced for both the students as well as the school staff. And ultimately, I think maybe it's the students who are going to pay the price, because the next year the teacher may have a job, but the students are one step closer to possibly graduating and having to compete with other students who may have not been hindered by that new project learning process. So. We'll play out like a scene, straight off the silver screen. For the most part, it was nice. What came in high school is that we have quite a bit, nice range of diversity from just demographics. We do have some lower income families, higher income families. The race demographic here was really great. So it does build you and plan you for the real world for the most part. And so being able to work with all of that, it worked out really well. So I think it did a good job preparing you.